at noon starts now.
Right now at noon, we are standing by for former President Donald Trump to leave his Mar-a-Lago resort on Palm Beach and fly to New York City to surrender to law enforcement. A grand jury indicted him on Thursday. This is a live look along Southern Boulevard where we expect Trump will be passing through on his way to the airport. Sources are telling WPBF 25 News that Trump will leave Palm Beach International Airport within the next half hour. Good afternoon, I'm Tiffany Kenny, and thank you for joining us as we will watch history unfold before our eyes. ABC News reporting that Trump faces around 24 counts in relation to hush money payment to an adult film star during the 2016 election. We have live team coverage this afternoon. We are going to start with my co-anchor, Nathalie Pozo, who is live at the airport waiting on the former president. Nathalie?
Well, Tiffany, like you mentioned, we have learned that former President Donald Trump is expected to arrive here at Palm Beach International Airport within the next 30 minutes, and he will board his private plane. You see it right there on the tarmac. Donald Trump will fly to New York one day ahead of this historic arraignment, Trump becoming the first president, current or former, to face criminal charges. Let's go ahead and get you to a closer live look of the plane. Once Trump arrives in New York, we are told he will spend the night in his Fifth Avenue apartment before he is driven by motorcade to his arraignment. Once inside, he will be processed but not handcuffed and walked into a courtroom where his attorney says he will enter a plea of not guilty. We do want to bring you back out here live along Southern Boulevard where you could see Trump supporters have gathered holding signs and flags. They have gathered at different ends along Southern Boulevard. I'm sure you could see all the media that has gathered here as well outside of the airport as we await the former president's arrival here. We also saw Palm Beach County Sheriff deputies at some of the private plane entrances here as well. We do want to continue our team coverage this afternoon with our Steve King, who is near Mar-a-Lago this afternoon. And Steve, there are supporters gathering there as well.
Nathalie, that's right. About a handful of supporters right now here along Southern Boulevard near the Mar-a-Lago resort, and everyone has their eyes right over here on the east end of the Southern Boulevard Bridge, waiting to see when former President Trump's motorcade will be heading towards where you are, Nathalie, over at Palm Beach International Airport. So far, no signs of any motorcade, but everybody has their eyes trained on that moment. Now you can also see over here, we're very close to the Mar-a-Lago resort. We did see some armed security earlier. There is one armed guard over here to our left just a little bit as this unprecedented day unfolds. And so far there are a handful of supporters. Just like you said, Nathalie, we saw about a dozen or so with flags. We also saw some vehicles passing by showing their support. And at this time, everybody is just waiting to see what happens next. But again, the former president and 2024 presidential candidate Donald Trump is expected to be in his motorcade going westbound along Southern Boulevard at some point very soon. But now we want to send it to our Josie Carbonari, who's over on the west side of the Southern Boulevard Bridge. And Josie, what are you seeing out there?
Well, Steve, just like what you're seeing, we're seeing a group of supporters, about 50 people here behind me, right along the other side of the bridge across from Mar-a-Lago. This is a peaceful rally here, supporters of former President Donald Trump. A lot of people waving their flags, wearing their hats in support of the former president. We are hearing a lot of horns being honked as people are driving by. A lot of people excited to witness him going by, but disappointed in what's going on with this indictment, they tell me. I did speak with some people that came from Orlando, another gentleman who came from Michigan. So supporters from all around, not just here locally. And further down south, we are also seeing more supporters closer to Publix. After turning himself into New York authorities, Trump will be returning to his Mar-a-Lago estate and is expected to give a public statement from his Mar-a-Lago estate on Tuesday evening. And even 6 years after he was elected, again, supporters continue to show up for Trump. And Terry, I know that we are seeing more of those supporters over your way on Southern Boulevard closer to Publix. What are you seeing?
It's a familiar sight here, Josie, up and down Southern Boulevard, here at the corner of Parker Avenue. Donald Trump supporters have been here through his campaign, through his presidency, and through his troubles. But now
this historic indictment has really galvanized his base, unlike anything we've seen before. His campaign announcing on Friday that it raised $4 million in the first 24 hours after the indictment was made public. And this was far more than the amount of donations that came in even when the FBI did that unprecedented search of Mar-a-Lago, searching for those documents taken from the White House. I talked to many supporters as well. They tell me they do believe that this is political persecution, and that's why they're behind Donald Trump so strongly. They believe that the New York prosecutor Alvin Bragg vowed during his own campaign that he would indict Donald Trump. They call it, in some cases, a witch hunt. They stand firmly behind Donald Trump, and as you can see, they're going to be here talking, cheering, honking, and giving him the high five as he drives by once again. And you know that Donald Trump will be looking out the window at all of his supporters and waving back. We'll be here bringing you everything as it happens. For now, back to you.